Today we're going to look at another top 10 underrated movies from the 1990s. With hindsight, the 1990s was Hollywood's last golden period of originality. Franchises and sequels had yet to truly dominate, and old-school new Hollywood filmmakers were still very active. Quality, well-written films that didn't rely on an onslaught of CGI to wow audiences were the order of the day. With so much going on in that decade and so many quality films vying for our attention, it's only natural that some have fallen by the wayside or didn't get the widespread recognition they deserved. Or perhaps a few were dismissed upon release as expensive failures, but deserve to be reassessed several years later.
Forget whatever you've seen in the movies. It's not like they're seducing everybody in sight with cheesy Eurotrash accents, all right?
Let's start our countdown with number 10, Vampires.
They don't turn into bats. Crosses don't work. You want to kill one, you drive a wooden stake right through his heart.
Vampires isn't usually mentioned as one of the best John Carpenter movies. The combination of three genres in this story makes it stand out for fans of genre movies. Fantasy, Western, and horror meet in a movie about a vampire hunter raised by the Catholic Church after vampires killed his parents. John Carpenter's Vampires has thrilling action and tells a well-rounded story of good versus evil. James Woods stars as Jack Crow. He's the leader of a vampire-slaying gang that a vampire master attacks, and most of his men are killed. Cheryl Lee plays Katrina, a woman bitten by the vampire master undergoing a painful transformation during the movie. With a fair share of gore and violence, it's much more explicit and unapologetic than Halloween and other Carpenter movies. It's proof that the filmmaker is a master of any horror subgenre.
Got a 2-inch needle stuck into his arm while he was under hypnosis, didn't feel a thing.
Okay, Kreskin, prove it. Hypnotize somebody.
Yeah, do me.
At number 9, Stir of Echoes.
No.
Come on. What's worse that can happen?
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
It's Kevin Bacon. His work ethic is immense, as is his choice of film. Take this supernatural thriller, for instance. It was initially dismissed as nothing more than a Sixth Sense knockoff due to a child's ability to commune with the dead. But it's a creepy and compelling murder mystery, which also lifts the lid on just what the most normal of people hide underneath the surface, and what they can do when pushed. Bacon is, of course, superb as the family man who discovers that everything he thought he knew about the world is wrong. His portrayal of obsession is on a level with Michael Shannon's fantastic performance in Take Shelter.
Would you walk us through a typical day for you?
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I generally come in at least 15 minutes late.
At number 8, it's Office Space.
I use the side door. That way Lumberg can't see me. And after that, I just sort of space out for about an hour.
Based on Mike Judge's Milton cartoon series, Judge opts to go live action instead when bringing Office Space to the screen. And the result is the on-the-nose comedy about the banality of everyday life in an office. It takes the form of a loose series of sketches set in office cubicles before a botched bout of hypnotherapy leads Ron Livingston's Peter Gibbon to stop caring. The plot is slight, but that's not the point. Instead, the razor-sharp script expertly spears target after target, whether it's the pieces of flair Jennifer Aniston's waitress is forced to wear to promote her happy individuality, or the HR mistakes that lead to office worker Milton's eventual breakdown. You can easily imagine these things genuinely happening. Indeed, most of what you see will be depressingly familiar to anyone who has worked in the corporate world. Still, the humor rescues it from being a horrible social-realist piece. Office Space is an enduring cult classic, referenced in everything from Family Guy to World of Warcraft.
So, what do you think?
I think it was a total washout.
God, it really clears out your head.
Now we're at number 7, which is L.A. Story.
Ed, you should go back in there and tell them they're doing it wrong. Well, it was a great lunch in Enema, thanks.
This gets my vote for the best romantic comedy of the 90s, and possibly Steve Martin's most underrated film. It's not full of the comic excesses and highs of some of his work, but in L.A. Story, he finally marries together the pathos, the surrealism, and the warm humor that made him the star he is. Martin plays Harris K. Telemasha, a TV weatherman in a dead-end relationship who begins to receive cryptic romantic advice from from a freeway sign, pursuing relationships with both a sophisticated British journalist and an aspiring promotional model, which was a young Sarah Jessica Parker. The film also charts the absurdity of living in LA, that most modern of cities dedicated to the cult of celebrity we've built around ourselves, and a place where it's very easy to be lonely.
The day I back down from a fight, Casper's welcome to the rackets, this town, and my place at the table.
At number 6, we come up to Miller's Crossing.
I'm sick of taking a strap from you, Leo. And I'm sick of the high hat.
I think this film should be on everyone's list of favorite films. But time and time again, I'm amazed by the number of people, including Coen Brothers fans, who haven't seen this masterpiece. Based loosely on the works of pulp writer Dashiell Hammett, this film noir set in Prohibition-era America details a power struggle between two rival gangs, in which Gabriel Byrne finds himself in the middle. Beautiful and mournful, with a multi-layered plot, it's handled with the assured confidence of filmmakers at the top of their game. The dialogue, much culled directly from Hammett himself, whipped sharp and delivered with relish by the incredible cast, of whom standouts are Albert Finney and John Turturro, who as a bookie, Bernie Birnbaum, is probably at his very finest, with his scene at Miller's Crossing where he pleads for his life being an iconic standout, perhaps the Coens' finest work.
Now you're in trouble. You owe 25 cents.
Number 5, Pump Up the Volume.
Lenny Bruce. Who's he? Any good?
He's all right.
I would appreciate your checking this earlier effort from director Alan Moyles out for all those fans of Empire Records. Mainly because, dare I say it, it's better. Christian Slater is outstanding as Mark Hunter, a loner at high school who has a secret. He's the host of a popular nighttime pirate radio show. Using a harmonizer to disguise his voice and going under the pseudonym of Happy Harry Hardon, he is the mouthpiece of a disaffectionate youth. However, this influence soon proves so disruptive in the community that he faces a fight to stay on the air. With a generation-defining soundtrack featuring Pixies and Soundgarden propelling the film, it's funny, sharp, and has a genuine message of importance for its audience. It also perfectly captures the possibility of the 90s, free from the ostentatious shackles of the 80s. This was Gen X's time to shine and prove they had a voice and the will to use it.
And I'm sick and tired of working for the Starks of the world, buying their way out of their own messes.
These people are victims of plots and they need our help.
Number 4, Zero Effect.
I'm the greatest private investigator in the world.
Jake Kasdan's directorial debut, Zero Effect, is a detective story with a difference. Bill Pullman plays Daryl Zero, the world's greatest detective and a social misfit who cannot leave his house to meet clients. Instead, he employs an assistant, Steve Arlo, played by Ben Stiller, to carry out his work. Based on the 1930s series Nero Wolfe and the Sherlock Holmes story A Scandal in Bohemia, the plot details Zero investigating a mysterious blackmail case where, in fact, the blackmailer may be the one who needs the help. Engaging, funny, and totally absorbing, Pullman and Stiller make a great crime-fighting partnership, but one that is definitely modern, all the pressures that it entails. Zero's unique problem creates a dramatic and intriguing puzzle for the writers to solve, but in fact, it becomes the film's strength.
Sometimes you can come across like you sort of got to stick up your I mean to someone who doesn't really know you.
Number 3 is A Simple Plan.
It's all in the past, right? What do you say? Come on.
Sounds good to me.
This film proves that with suitable material, Sam Raimi is a masterful director, whatever the genre. The thriller concerns two brothers, Bill Paxton and Billy Bob Thornton, and their friend discovering a crashed plane and $4.4 million in cash in rural America. Cue a series of cover-ups, arguments, murders, and a deepening of the mystery of just where the money came from. Complex and painfully tense, A Simple Plan gives nothing away and wastes no scenes. Everything propels the taut narrative forward to its shocking, inevitable, and satisfying ending while fleshing out the characters. Hence, you genuinely care about their fates, even as they dig deeper into a hole of their own making. With this and The Gift, Sam Raimi showed the world he was a director of natural substances and not just a comic-influenced horror kid.
Is you crazy or is you drunk?
Am I drunk?
Number 2, Devil in a Blue Dress.
Oh, yeah. Now this fool gonna call me out. He ain't even got no gun. I'll kill that motherfucker.
No. Let him go.
An electric, potent, neo-noir thriller from director Carl Franklin, Devil in a Blue Dress was a breath of fresh air in the detective genre upon release. While its plot about Denzel Washington's rookie private eye was nothing new, the investigation of racial tension in post-war Los Angeles, the exploration of the importance of usually unheralded community ties, and the elegant direction made this film stand head and shoulders above the competition. The visuals are incredible, proving once again why film is a transcendent visual medium, and how a picture can explore so much more than words. Rounding off the film and truly cementing it as worthy of watching is a tremendous performance from Don Cheadle as the homicidal Mouse, a friend of Washington's who acts as a spark to the powdered cake situation. He steals the film with his performance.
Hello, I'm Bob Solo. I'm with Westside Realty. I have an appointment with Mr. Vago.
How the hell did you get in the gate, Mr. Solo?
And the number 1 underrated film of the 90s, Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai.
Jesus, it's the fucking Birdman! Oh.
Jim Jarmusch is a genius, whether he's directing postmodern black and white western Dead Man or the metaphorical comedy drama Broken Flowers. He brings care, detail, and talent to everything he does. A case in point is this incredible crime action thriller, which uses gangster and samurai movies while mixing themes of family, loyalty, duty, and revenge amongst an incredible high body count that builds and builds. Forrest Whitaker is excellent as Ghost Dog, saved by mobster Louis and bound to him by his Bushido code. Caring only for his pigeons, he is betrayed by the mob and realizes it's either them or him, as well as setting up an epic confrontation. The film also finds time for Ghost Dog to pass on his ethos to a new pupil, come to terms with his choices, and have a life-affirming friendship with a Haitian ice cream salesman who doesn't speak English. Finally, it also features an all-conquering soundtrack from RZA, worthy of an article of its own and one of the finest soundtracks of recent years. That was our show for today. What did you think? Do you agree with our list? What was your favorite underrated movie of the 1990s? Please let me know what you think in the comments section. As always, I'd be honored if you could subscribe to my channel. You can click the bell to stay informed and check out my Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter franchise in the comments. Until next time, this is Kevin Given. No more Axel. I've given Axel the boot. No more AI voice. Studio is back up and running. And until next time, this is Kevin Given saying live long and prosper. May the force be with you and keep reaching for the stars.